Think of the things that this last week occupied your mind. What keeps you distracted during your day? What makes you anxious? What has you frustrated, angry, overwhelmed? What is enough to rob your peace and steal the present moment from your grasp? Now, if the doctor told you today that you had a bacteria eating you from the inside out, that in months or maybe a year you would be dead, crippled, disfigured, blind, limb by limb falling apart, would any of those things still matter? I imagine, and certainly I've seen it in the lives of people who have received a poor diagnosis, that we would actually be grateful for the problems that we have today, considering all the blessings that they come with. Blessings like this beautiful fall day itself, these people that are sitting around us, this parish planted as it is in the neighborhood itself. I get that leprosy might not ever be our condition, and pray God it isn't, but it was Naaman's. He was the commander of the Syrian army. And no doubt, as such, he had his own share of complaints. The millions of details that come with trying to lead a vast army, and the various responsibilities given by a king who sees him as highly capable and talented. But none of those things mattered to him anymore the moment that spots started appearing on his skin. And suddenly he realized his own life was slipping through his fingers. It's interesting to me that when God helps him, he doesn't help him by adding life. He doesn't get 120 years now. He helps him by simply giving him back the life that he had. His hectic job, his crazy family, his Ridley Park. And he's so grateful for this gift that he scoops up 2 mule loads of earth to bring back with him to Syria, so that now when he worships God, he can worship it on the Holy Land, even though he's deep into Gentile territory. That's amazing to me. And I think the real miracle of this story is not so much the healing of his flesh. It's that this arrogant, self-sufficient, powerful commander of the greatest army in his time was totally broken by an encounter with the living God. So that when he returns to Syria, it's not simply that he's no longer a leper, he's no longer a pagan, and he worships now the true God, as God wants to be worshiped and thanked. Hence the taking up of the Holy Land. And that's a key part to this. See, all of us have things to be grateful for, even if complaints come more easily to mind. And with all that we can say that truly is wrong with the world, there's also a lot that's right with it. And those blessings sit quietly beside us as we so often choose to focus on the stain on that dress, or the comeback we wish we said to that person. And so it's right and just that we thank God for all of our blessings, literally to sit down and count them, but not to do that in a generic way or a way that we feel like doing it, or a way that somehow puts us as the priority, but rather in the way that he's asked us to do it. Because our gratitude is not about us, it's about him. And we express that when we, as Jesus says, do this in memory of him. And the this, of course, is the Eucharist, which is simply a Greek word that actually means, by definition, thanksgiving. So when we celebrate Thanksgiving, when we give the Father ultimate thanks in the offering of his Son presented to us on the cross, we know that he's just going to give us more anyway. And so I think in the immediate sense, the best way that we can honor this beyond simply being here today as you are is to be present over the next 3 days. See, today we begin our 40 hours devotions. The Eucharist is going to be presented on this altar. He's available to us all day long until the evening time when we have our closing celebrations at 7 p.m. with Father Friel, some prayer, some reflection, and some adoration. Please visit him. If you haven't committed to an hour to make sure that someone is present loving him and receiving his love, please do that. And take this time, most importantly, to give thanks for the many blessings that we have and those we don't even know.